Alrighty guys, welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today I'm reviewing The Mandalorian Season 3, Chapter 22, Guns for Hire, which was written by Jon Favreau and directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, and was released on April 5th, 2023, which I thought was an alright episode. Probably the most fun I've had with an episode this season. Had a lot of cameos, which were fun, from certain actors, but the episode was more of a side quest episode. Like I said, I had a lot of fun with it, but with how this season has been going so far, I've been kind of wanting, more of a main quest episode, maybe more stuff with Moff Gideon, because there was a tease at the end of last episode, but with that, I probably just need to be more patient. But also with this episode, I was kind of expecting more of Bo's new quest to reunite Mandalorians, which we do see the return of her crew from season 2, as Axwove now leads the stolen fleet with Ahsoka Reeves and a bunch of other Mandalorians, which at the start of the episode we see them quote-unquote rescue this Mon Calamari prince from this Quarren, but that Mon Calamari prince and this Quarren are in love, kind of like a Romeo and Juliet situation, but the Quarren convinces that Mon Calamari to leave with the Mandalorians so he can go back to his home. When it then cuts, and we see Bo and Din arrive on this planet called Plazir 15, where the Mandalorian fleet is at, which we also see as a big dome city, but Bo is just going to land near the fleet, but gets hailed in and kind of in a tractor beam situation, I guess, to go to the city, which they try to get to the fleet, from there, but get told that the leaders of the planet want to see them, so they do that, where they meet Jack Black and Lizzo, who are the leaders of the planet, which was kind of strange. I wasn't expecting to see those two in a Star War, but I enjoyed it. But they tell Dan and Bo that they have this little droid problem, because I guess Jack Black is a former Imperial and part of the embassy program and was voted in as the leader, and also because of how the people of Plazir 15 voted, they can't have an army enter the city. They have hired the Mandalorians to protect them, but as they are outside the city, they can't come in, and so they don't have anyone who can deal with their little droid problem, which the droids are a whole bunch of reprogrammed droids, a lot of B1 and B2 battle droids, and the problem is that they're malfunctioning and going crazy, I guess, which Din is obviously all for, wants to do it. Bo's a little hesitant to do it. They agree to do it, but first they meet up with the head of security, who's played by Christopher Lloyd, which you already knew he was going to be in this season, but didn't know when he would be, so it's nice to finally see him. But he shows Din and Bo recordings of all this stuff going on with the droids and whatnot, and how they're doing crazy stuff, which he does have this big red button, which is a kill switch for all the droids, but once again, because of how the people voted, he can't activate it, so that's why Din and Bo have to go and do it themselves. But to get a list of the droids, they have to go speak with some Ugnaughts, which is a cool scene where Din kind of knows how to speak to them because of his friendship with Queel, so I enjoyed that moment. Because at first Bo is trying to talk to them, but, can't get their attention, but then Din just starts talking, talks about Queel, says his, I have spoken and whatnot, and so they listen to him. I enjoyed that. But, they now have a list, so they go into the city and head to this, B1 who's leading a bunch of, B2s, which I love seeing the battle droids in live action again. Definitely hearing the B1 voice and whatnot was fun, but they're there because one of the B2s is one of the droids malfunctioning, so Din just starts kicking them until one attacks, which it does, and runs away, so Din and Bo have to chase it, which was a fun scene. I liked all the set pieces and whatnot there, but Din is able to eventually cut it off, and him and Bo take it down. Which while investigating it, they find this little thingy on it, which has an address for the droid bar. So they head there, and Bo's like, I'll do the talking. But once inside and talking to the bartender, Din starts threatening the droid, which Bo takes him to the side to, talk about that and how they should go along with this. But the bartender overhears and says that, they can help, with the droid problem because they want to get to the bottom of it also, knowing that they'll be replaced if it isn't. So the bartender droid takes them to the back, and they realize that all the malfunctioning droids all went to the bar and had this one type of oil or whatever. So they go to what is it called? Like a place in the prison where they have the dead bodies, but it's there for the B2 battle droid. So they're able to kind of look at it and they kind of, I guess, dissect that oil out of it, where they then look at it and find out that there's nano droids inside of it, which is causing them to malfunction, which they find text on one, which reveals a chain code, which I guess leads back to some techno-union separatist stuff. But with that chain code, they're able to find out who got the nanodroids delivered to Plaza 15, which is the head of security, played by Christopher Lloyd. So Din and Bo head back to him, where they try to arrest him, but he threatens to hit the kill switch, which I guess might actually just turn all the battle droids back into killers. Which here we learn that he was a separatist and still believes in their cause, which was interesting. But Bo is able to stun him, and they arrest him and take him back to Jack Black and Lizzo, who were upset to see that he was the one behind it. But they send him into exile on the planet's moon. But Jack Black and Lizzo thank Din and Bo and give them a key to the city and allow them to speak to the Mandalorians. So we see Din and Bo head to them, where Bo talks with Axe and eventually challenges him to a fight, which she eventually wins. And then talks about how Mandalorians need to unite. But Axe mentions the Darksaber, which Din still has, and Axe doesn't think of him as a Mandalorian, which Bo says that, he's just as much a Mandalorian as them, as he took the creed, as did their ancestors, which Axe, says that, their way is, leading whoever wields the Darksaber, which Din jumps in and once again tries to give Bo the Darksaber, as he still doesn't want it, but she can't accept. But Din then mentions to everyone that on Mandalore he got defeated and the Darksaber was taken from him, and Bo rescued him with the Darksaber, so it should now be hers, which Axe and the others agree to that, and so Din gives it to Bo, who then ignites it, and that's where the episode ends. Like I said, I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked seeing cameos from Christopher Lloyd, Jack Black, and Lizzo. Just, definitely Jack Black and Lizzo. I never would have expected them to be in The Mandalorian or a Star Wars. I do wish we got more into Lloyd's character, because I did like the Separatist connection and whatnot. He just didn't have that many scenes, but I liked his character, and I just wish we got more. I enjoyed all the stuff with the droids, but all that was just kind of a fun side quest. Obviously, they do continue the new main quest with Bo reuniting Mandalorians, but that was only on the last few minutes of the episode, which, the stuff with the Darksaber, I really liked the idea of Din wheeling in and becoming the one to lead Mandalore and the Mandalorians. But, I do think, that this season Bo has kind of grown as a leader, or seemingly. So, I do think she can lead Mandalore, better now, more so than I thought at the beginning of this season. But with that said, I still wish Din was the one to do it, and he barely had the Darksaber. There really wasn't much stuff with him with the Darksaber. We just saw him kind of use it very little and not really, know how to use it as well. So I do wish there was more development there. And with this development, I do wonder what Din's role in the series will be going forward. So I am a little questionable about where all that's heading and whatnot. But all in all, it was a fun episode. A fun side quest. Obviously, with how the season has been going so far, and this being the 6th episode, and I kind of felt like there hasn't been that much progression in the main quest story. I was hoping for a more main quest episode this time, but with that said, it was probably the most fun I've had all season, which I do think this series is at its best when it's just being fun. So, I enjoyed that. But I do wish it went more into like maybe stuff with Moff Gideon, as I've been teasing that, and I'm just interested to get back into that. And I would have liked to get more Mandalorians. Obviously the ones we've already seen in season 2, so it would have been more interesting to see more and more. And with only 2 seasons left, I don't know how much like they can fit into both those episodes. So even though I thought it was a fun side quest episode, I do feel like it was the wrong time to have this type of episode. And with really the 3 previous episodes being more kind of just not as moving the main quest, being more also kind of a side quest stuff, I do feel like this one could have been a little bit better. But then again, also, I do think those other episodes could have been a little bit better also. So, yeah, but anyways, that's enough rambling on my grade. I'm going to give this episode a B. So, yeah. But that's going to be it for this one. You can check out my reviews on the first 5 episodes of Season 3 and all my other Mandalorian videos and everything else to do. But as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.
There's something dangerous happening out there. And by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
Hang on, kid.